This is Everton wishes a belated happy birthday to Andrei Kanchelskis, recently voted Russian football's most valuable export. Magic. But it's not Johnson.
Ball was won so well here by Parkinson.
Joe 90 represents minutes of endeavour and a connoisseur as well.
And then, of course, there are the world-famous meat pies, which are endorsed by Wigan's most famous export, Joe Parkinson. What the like. Very nice. Very nice.
A model professional. John Ebbrell putting on the style.
Ebbrell bursting through. Oh, Ebbrell! Fantastic!
Win a day out of Bellefield, Everton's stately training complex. That's the prize in our latest competition. You'll get the full VIP treatment. Everton, along with Liverpool, were honoured at Civic Centre, the freedom of the city. A proud moment for the chairman. And with all the goals since our last edition, including one which has become a major topic of conversation as we take you behind the scenes. It's not from Andre or Duncan, but a young man who's branching out. We kick off though at Highbury, where there are few winners other than Arsenal. The North London script started predictably enough, but was completely rewritten before the end.
Stewart. It's a fair cross, and oh, at the near post, coming in. Andrei Kanchelskis over on the far post had the shot. Well, Graham Stewart here did really well, and Seaman in the end denies Kanchelskis. He placed it, and Seaman saved well. Up goes Ferguson, and there's a real scramble across the face, the goal in the end. Right, great turn from Ian Wright, brilliantly done, still right, oh, that's magnificent. Ian Wright, it's 10 goals in 6 games against Everton, and he does it again with a real beauty. The clearance. Here's Daniel Amokachi, he's hit the bar. He seems to have done all the hard work, he really should have scored. This is John Ebbrell. Lenigan. Seaman with the clearance. And as far as Dave Watson. Now there's no offside here. Graham Stewart for Everton. Stewart will score, and it's 1-1. Poor clearance, Watson headed back, there was no offside, and Graham Stewart levels things up, 1-1. Oh, and the drive from Amokachi, out of nothing. Just over 25 minutes to go here. Good touch from Burkamp. Now Clark, Wright's in the centre. Right! Well, Paul Merton there volleyed it superbly. Oh, it was right in the centre, but it was Merson who got there. It was brilliantly saved by Southall. Away come Arsenal now. Burkamp making a run. And Dennis Burkamp here. Oh, it's a good Southall blocks Bergkamp when he tried to place it rather than blast it. Under 8 minutes to go. Oh, could have for goal! And Andrei Kanchelskis has stolen a goal for Everton. Out of nothing. Well, Kanchelskis looked up and Seaman palmed it in as Everton take the lead.
We know we've got to score 2 goals at least to win the game, because Ian Wright's always going to get 1. And true to the script, he scored first. Terrific goal from his point of view. And I won't carry on too long about our defending, because I prefer to be positive and say it was a magnificent goal. I had a chat with the lads at half-time. I think that we'd gone there expecting the worst, and we brightened up immediately second half, and we took the fight to them. Just changed things around a little bit, put Daniel Amokachi in the middle instead of on the left where he's supposed to spend the first half, and Dan gave them a lot of problems second half. So we ended up winning the game, and that's a great sign. I mean, it's still not an easy place to win, Arsenal.
Andre's winner at Arsenal was further proof that he was a snip at over 5 million. The club's record signing is getting his expected quota of goals, as well as frightening opponents by his blistering pace, and at the ripe old age of 27. But only just. He celebrated his birthday in January.
I think that the opposition are always aware of Andre and his pace, and that's what we have at the moment. Not just Andre, but whether it be Anders or Daniel, Graham Stewart, Big Duncan, or the other forwards here. You know, we have lots and lots of outlets and lots of dangers, so we're scoring a few goals at the moment.
There's more meat on a conductor's baton, as they say at the Philharmonic Hall.
Brian McClare used to say that you used to have caviar for breakfast.
Yeah, every breakfast.
No, you really?
Yeah.
You have caviar for every breakfast?
Yeah.
Where'd you get it?
Toast, butter and caviar.
Where'd you get it from?
From in Russia.
What, you bring it over?
It's my friends going to come back in here, and my family going to here and come my house in caviar. Yeah.
I think you've misunderstood him somewhere.
Well, it was Special K, was it?
Either that was winding you up. He's not without humour. I don't think he speaks fluent English, but he's certainly a wind-up merchant with what he knows.
The birthday bash at Belfield was a calorie-controlled disaster, but Andre and the lads loved it. That Russian sense of humour has not surprisingly fooled a lot of people, including our reporter Rob McCaffrey.
Russell White. McCarthy. Well, he's got the beating of Ebbrell, and he's got time to get right to the penalty area and have a good long look. It's here! Oh! His touch let him down at the crucial moment. Graham Stewart. Watson underneath. Well won. Oh, good save. Amokachi. Everton are relieved to take the lead. It was a fine save, one-handed from Musselwhite from the initial header. But as the ball drops, Amokachi was first to it. Watson won it. Quite a lot of power in the header. And really, before the keeper could get back to his feet, Amokachi was onto it. Griffiths, Amokachi, they've hit the post twice and off the line. Somehow Vale survived. Or did they? Amokachi off his shins, right into the keeper, and Everton looked bewildered. Amokachi. Just clipped the back of Naylor. Yes! At last! It's 1-1. Bogey won it. McCarthy. Again, those quick feet, but Horn was snapping at him. Here's Ferguson. He's peeled off very well to the left. Ebbrell! It's going to go in. It's not. It's off the line. A super clearance. Horn shot. And they've survived again.
John Rudge wants everybody back to defend. Let's not surrender what we have. And that's a 1-1 draw at the moment. Limpar. Oh, he's dropped it! Ferguson puts it in. And, well, your heart goes out to the goalkeeper, Paul Musselwhite. He just looked a tiny bit casual. He wasn't under pressure from Ferguson, but he never had the ball in his grasp. At full stretch, dropped it right to the feet of Ferguson. Going to take something really heroic from Port Vale now to get themselves back in this. They just haven't got any leeway. There's only time for an attack or two. But maybe Guppy can deliver the perfect cross. Here's Bogey. So it was deflected. Oh, Bogey! It's 2-2.
And now it's question of sport time. Who's the mystery personality? Yes, it's our Nigerian globetrotter Daniel Amokachi. And by the time you see this, either Ian Botham's team or Bill Beaumont's will be 2 points better off on the BBC's popular sports quiz.
Tell us about this first of all. Do you ever watch Question of Sport?
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah, sure, yeah.
Are you any good?
Not really. Not 100%, man. I think I can get myself there.
What's your specialist knowledge in? Is it soccer or what are your other sports?
It depends, innit? It really depends on the questions, and you know, some of them you already heard about or you know them a while back, and you just give the right thing.
Who are the players at the club that have got a particularly good sporting knowledge?
I think most of them, Neville Sarswell, Andy Hinchcliffe, you know, Joe Parkinson. We always sit together, so we do some question of sports, you know, and going for away games in the coach. So I think they're pretty good. I don't know the rest because we never done it with. So yeah, playing basketball, you know, it's like, you know, when you're down with the hoops, you know, it's like listening to the kind of music you like, you know, to calm you down or to feel your rhythm going again. Sometimes I might be angry and I just pick the ball and I come on, just throw some hoops in there, and don't forget about everything.
OK, so what happened next? Paul Rideout's down, but not necessarily out. Joe looks on anxiously, but before the medical team could say Wembley, Daniel was off the bench and into the history books as the greatest substitution the manager never actually made.
Inside him is Barry Horn here, number 10. Stewart's available now. That's his cross. Amokachi! 3-1 Everton. Release ball to Anders Limpar. Now he's got somebody sprinting up to his left. I think it's Gary Ebbrell there. And Amokachi is square and unmarked. Amokachi, surely! It's another one! It's another one! And that's it now. It's all over. Well, Amokachi 2, Everton 4. The Tottenham dream over.
Getting through the semi-finals and being involved and being one of the heroes of the game, I think it's a big moment for any ball player in the world, because playing in the cup final is what any ball player in the world really want to play, want to have the medal in his pocket, and I did that. I always remember that a lot. You know, we have to win the finals to get the medal, but being part of the helping hand that took us to the final, I think is something I always remember.
Plenty of movement. Stewart has come back into the right wing. Kanchelskis has moved inside. He's looking for that shot. Just palmed away by Bezant. The angle too tight for Anders Limpar. We're hoping for a more lively second half than the first. Southampton straight onto the attack. This is Mark Walters. Now Watson, he's onside! Oh, and it's crept in! Parkinson. Limpar. Oh, lovely shinny. Leaves one, leaves two. They can't catch it. Threads the ball through. Kanchelskis! And it's in! I don't know who's going to claim it, but Everton have equalised. Beautiful skill, wonderful pass from Limpar. Kanchelskis' shots took a deflection. Is it an own goal? Is it Stewart's? It's 1-1. Determined to do well at the club he used to play for. He wants the ball back as well and gets it. Oh, glorious goal for Barry Horn. That will mean so much to him. He scored in his debut for Everton, scored a famous goal against Wimbledon, and now has scored on his return to the Dell. Time running out for Southampton. It's getting on their backs a little bit. They're throwing everything forward. Magilton! Oh, beautiful goal! A wonderful equaliser for Jim Magilton.
And now it's time again for Royal Blues, Joe's Everton dream team from his early days as a player, as a fan and observer whilst at Oldham, and up to the present day. This is how it's shaping up, but what about the front three? From a short list of, well, round about 15?
A ridiculously hard question to answer, but at fear of upsetting one or two traditional supporters, I've gone for a three of Andrei Kanchelskis, Bob Latchford and Andy Gray. Now the Andy Gray one particularly was a very hard choice to make, with obviously Alex Young around and Roy Vernon, a great favourite of mine. I did actually recently pick Roy Vernon in another team, but all three of them are on a level. So I'm going to use my licence, if you like, to try and pacify one or two Andy Gray fans with this one. And Andy was brave. He had a comparatively short time, gave Everton a great cameo. I'm told he was fabulous in the dressing room, and that's important. You know, your dressing room is very, very important, and Andy was a big noise in there. He's still a big noise, or he's still noisy, but no, Andy Gray was brave, scored goals, magnificence in the air.
Curran. Gray! Header from Andy Gray. That's a magnificent finish. Sheer courage.
The usual combination, Sheedy takes, and Andy Gray has scored! From a virtually horizontal position, he sent the Everton supporters sky high.
Oh, what a magnificent strike by Andy Gray!
Sharp. Surprisingly got away, three up to help. Lyons, Gray. Well, he rather mishit it, to tell the truth.
Gray, Vandenhouw. Stephen, knocked on for Andy Gray. Oh, what a magnificent strike by Andy Gray. As good a goal as you wish to see.
Bracewell, on again for Reid. Well played. Reid's cross, Gray! What a fantastic goal! Beautiful goal. 34 minutes gone, and Everton produce one right out of the textbook.
Big Bob was a different type of player, really. Very strong, very quick, not as aggressive as he looked, but certainly strong enough, and a great goal machine. And I keep looking at Bob's record in a not outstanding Everton side, and for that alone, I think he's got to be in the team.
Well, they can build an attack, and they won't have time to do much else. Well, this is dangerous. Here's Latchford right through now. For Everton, a chip, and it's there! Equaliser! Last seconds of the game. Now here's Ronnie Goodless. Oh, Latchford has taken up his position on the far post, and it's gone in! That's 2-0. Dobson. Thomas. Acres of space for him. 2 men to cross to. Latchford! What a glorious goal!
I like wingers, I've always liked wingers, and although Andre's always been here for a comparatively short time, I think he's made a big impression in a short time, and he will score goals, he will get crosses, and more than anything else he will get everyone else in the team a yard of space because he's so quick that when he gets the ball everybody backs off.
Kanchelskis. Right out. Kanchelskis! Yes!
Andrei Kanchelskis has scored his first goal for Everton. And he scored it against Liverpool at the Kop end.
Running riot, taking on 3 defenders. None of them can stop him. Oh, no stopping him now. Andrei Kanchelskis with a classic.
So that would be my 3 forwards for the dream team, with apologies to Alex Young and apologies to Roy Vernon, who are both great favourites of mine.
So there it is, the perfect blend. An idealistic team, but what a mouth-watering prospect, if only. Joe's a great one for nostalgia. We might even try him on music from the 60s at a later date. But more immediately, and available now on video, his 6 best Everton games. It's a This Is Everton special.
First, good work to Jackson, to her husband. Royal! What a fine goal by Joe Royal! And Ross planting the high one. Was nodded down by Gregory, I think. Dobson couldn't get to it. Mackenzie does! The back pass is punished.
Gray is onside, played onside by Nakbai. And Trevor Stephen. It's settled now! We're into the last minute. McDonald. McCall helps it in. Got it! 3-3!
Hinchcliffe's corner, and a goal by Ferguson! Duncan Ferguson has put Everton in front here! It's his first goal for Everton!
They've got 4 against 4. Graham Stewart's had to check because he would have run off the pitch. Inside him is Barry Horn here, number 10. Stewart's available now. That's his cross. Amokachi! 3-1 Everton! And Wembley beckons now.
Joe's 6 of the best is available now at Rupert's Castle Souvenir Shop and at all major high street retailers at a cost of $9.99. The Town Hall's glittering array of chandeliers illuminated a momentous occasion for the city's 2 football clubs. The stars mingled together and the champagne flowed as civic leaders bestowed on Everton and Liverpool the freedom of the city. It was to mark the centenary birthday of the late Sir John Moores. The 2 great footballing institutions benefited enormously from his wealth and commitment. Everton was his first love, but Liverpool are also indebted to his passion for the game. Always a popular fixture at Goodison is the visit of Manchester City. There have been so many connections between the 2 clubs in recent years. Not all of them harmonious. In this case, Everton were looking to do a seasonal double.
Warning lights flash whenever Andy Hinchcliffe takes a set piece. Swings it in left foot in and not far away, Duncan Ferguson. Away in midfield. Pumping these crosses in, testing the Manchester City defence. Ferguson's header, and there's the goal! Joe Parkinson, of all people. Well, he scored against Manchester City earlier in the season. It's his lucky opposition. Ferguson nodded it back. And Joe Parkinson celebrates a goal. It meant a lot to him. It's Everton's lucky omen this season. Again, one of those massive kicks from Neville Southall, and again it's Duncan Ferguson winning it. Now Limpar. Ferguson to Ebbrell, he's on the right touchline, but Limpar keeps going. Great skill, and Ebbrell just gets his knees in the way. The German stops the Swede. Back in, panic in the City defence. Awkward bounce for Barry Horn, and Manchester City go away. It's a glorious chance for them. They're actually outnumbering Everton. Great pass from Clough. Here's a chance for Brown to equalise. Completely fluffs it. You'll have to feel very sorry for the young man. Great chance. Having one of those games where he's really on song. Now Hinchcliffe. Great save, Ebbrell. Unsworth plays it back in. Andy Hinchcliffe would love to score against his former club. Barry Horn going through. Is that handball? Barry Horn thinks so, and so does the referee. Mass protest from the Manchester City defence. As the ball went through, you can see the defender undoubtedly handled it. So it's going to be Andy Hinchcliffe to score that dream goal against the club he left for Everton. The trusty left foot never seems to fail.
Goal scorer for Everton, Andy Hinchcliffe.
Boy, does he celebrate. Everton looking for a third. Chances are he'll get it. Stewart puts it across. Ebbrell's all over the place, and somehow he stops Duncan Ferguson. A wonderful save by Ebbrell. Ferguson rose high, he got the power, did everything right, and Ebbrell somehow stuck a boot out.
So Everton completed the double, as did Joe Parkinson. Joe doesn't score many, but his slide rule goal at Main Road rates as one of the most precise of the season, by a man who comes from somewhere in between.
Now you have to ask yourself, what is Wigan famous for? George Orwell made the road to Wigan Pier quite famous. And of course Uncle Joe's mint balls are pretty famous. And there are a few places which can touch Wigan for rugby league.
And then, of course, there are the world-famous meat pies, which are endorsed by Wigan's most famous export, Joe Parkinson. What they like. Very nice. Very nice. Very nice.
He's made a bit of space, which is well closed down by the immaculate Parkinson.
Well, tell us a bit about this place then. Tell us a few of the memories that you've got here. The highs. The high must have been the Manx Cup, was it?
Yeah, a few years ago, the height of my career at Wigan was playing a cup final here. It was a Manx Cup. You know, it's a big game for the lower leagues, and luckily we beat Preston.
The Manx Cup?
Yes.
How does that compare with Europe and the FA Cup final and things like that?
Well, I mean, I've put it in the Everton programme that, you know, not many players have got FA Cup, Charity Shield and a Manx Cup in the trophy cabinet. So, I mean, it was a big thing for me at the time. I was only young, you know. Well, still I'm young. You know, but it was a good eye for me. Enjoyed it.
What about the lows here? I'd imagine you've seen a few Autoglass Trophy games or cold Tuesday nights in the middle of February or something, haven't you?
Yeah, I've had some hard times here when we was fighting off relegation. But I think the main low for me was having to leave.
Ball was won so well here by Parkinson.
Williamson has overrun it. Parkinson shuts off the supply line.
I mean, I played quite early when I was here, and I played as an apprentice anyway for the first team. But you still had to clean everybody's boots, you know, your boot man's, and hopefully doing well enough to get a tip.
What kind of tips did they give you?
Well, you know, £10 was the normal in them days, you know, and
you had a couple of boot men, so it was enough to have a night out.
So this is filmed evidence that you're going to give much more than that to the Everton apprentices and
I think if you find me,
this year, is it?
if you find me apprentice at Everton, he can tell you I give a bit more than that.
Well, he certainly gives plenty to the cause, all right. Joe's not the prettiest sight in football, but neither was Nobby Stiles, and he won a World Cup winner's medal. And Joe's no-nonsense approach in the holding role of midfield has not gone unnoticed by Terry Venables.
Been one of the top dogs of war. I mean, I know the manager hates that expression, but he started it off.
Yeah, he started off a bit of a jest, really, and it stuck with us. I mean, we don't mind. I think me, John Ebbrell and Barry Horn will admit, you know, we are like hard players, you know, and it's nice to get that attention, you know.
You enjoy that side of it, do you enjoy going in with a crunching tackle?
Well, yeah, it's part of my game. You know, my game is tackling and probably giving it nice and simple.
Bogey. Here's Guppy. Tankard. Andy Hill. Craig Short's come out to pressurise him. Bogey. Oh, good footwork by Bogey. Good strike! Oh, Bogey's done it again! And you could see then why at St James's Park they once hailed him as a new Gaza. That was a lovely bit of football to jink his way through the defence. Kanchelskis. Amokachi tries to run away from him. This is when he leads it with the left foot. He drifts into that central position. Amokachi's little touch. Ooh, a lot of room here for Graham Stewart. Where are the two fullbacks? It's there! Everton have equalised! It's 1-1, and it's Everton's turn to equalise in a cup tie against Port Vale. Stewart's 13th of the season. It's lucky 13 for Graham Stewart. It's lucky 13 for Everton. There were just the two central defenders, and there was a deflection, and Port Vale were caught with defenders forward, having had that corner themselves only a few seconds earlier. Ebbrell, well pulled down, still Ebbrell, good strike! This is Ebbrell. Hinchcliffe. He's playing much deeper now, having been pulled back by Joe Royle after the early threats from McCarthy. It's gone over the head of the full-back. It was Guppy in that position. Amokachi recracks the quickest. Oh, great shot by Stewart. Fine save. Here's Guppy, it was well left. McCarthy! Yes! It's 2-1 Port Vale.
Introducing Les Helm, the club's physiotherapist.
On the pitch, the things I hate dealing with the most on the pitch are cuts, bad cuts, because of the dirt that's around, and plus the player might be covered in dirt. It might be a cold, wet, lousy night covered in mud. I hate dealing with cuts the most. Anything else, you know, dealt with broken legs, ligaments, problems, but then you just assess it, you see. You do what you're supposed to do on the pitch, immobilise them, and you get them carried off. That's the understanding that you have with your manager anyway, you know what I mean? The manager trusts me implicitly in that. Contrary to what people think, what the public think, the safety of the player is always utmost. I would, to sound a little bit mercenary, if he's not fit, well, you don't want him on anyway. You never ever use the loss, obviously. You know, I can go a whole season without using something in particular. Obviously, you're not using the airway very often, hopefully, or the tongs for lifting anybody's tongue out. Most times you'll see me using the likes of this, and the water there. But Even sometimes you won't even see me using any of it. You'll just assess you'll assess the guy if he can carry on or how bad it is.
There were notable absentees for the relatively short trip to Old Trafford. Royals rookies were beaten, but by no means overawed by Fergie's flourishing fledglings.
Connor desperately wants to get the ball to Kanchelskis. Barry Horn will do for now. It's a hit and hope ball really from the Everton midfielder. Now Kanchelskis, how he'd love to make United eat their words. Puts in a good cross. There's Grant, and there's, oh dear me, how did that not go in? Graham Stewart, well, he could pace it out. It's probably about 3 yards away from goal. Grant miskicks, and to be fair, it was a fantastic tackle from Dennis Irwin, which stopped Stewart scoring. United having to go the long way round to try and find a correct route to Everton's goal. Nicky Butt. Neville with a shot. Oh, and Southall just gets there. Cantona to Keane, and Roy Keane scores for Manchester United. Ebbrell in bravely. Suspicion of handball. And Kanchelskis tries a shot. I would love to score here tonight. O'Connor. Ebbrell. Hinchcliffe. Everton stretching play. Got ball by Stewart. Dave Watson, the furthest man forward. Oh, it almost falls to Stewart. Oh, bizarre. But United escape again. Amokachi. Stewart. Flips it up. Bruce can deal with that. Stewart to Ebbrell. Will to have a shot. Oh, it was an excellent shot. Flipped over by Schmeichel. Sharp, nowhere to go. Giggs in a very dangerous area. Cantona to Cole. Now he has the pace. Has he got the cool head? Everton come back. Here's Giggs. He can finish it off. And he does.
So distinguished debuts for John O'Connor, a natural centre-half playing at right-back. Michael Branch, of whom we'll see more very shortly. And clearly Tony Grant has benefited from his loan spell with Steve McMahon's Swindon at the top of Division 2.
Ryan Giggs gets into full flight. Tests young O'Connor, rounds him. Not a second time though, maybe at the third attempt. O'Connor sticks to his guns. That'll do.
He's such a personality, such a composed lad, and never had any worries about him. Slight concern that it's not his natural position. He is a centre-half and will be a big name at this club in years to come.
What was it like playing against Giggs?
Oh, it was great. I mean, Dave Unsworth said to me before the match, he said he couldn't get a better debut, couldn't get a harder debut, so everything from then on is going to be a little bit easier, which I think he's right.
It's a day you're never going to forget, but what bits are you going to remember the most?
I think running out in front of the 42,000 crowd, I think that was a great experience. Normally I'm used to playing in front of a few hundred in the Pontons League, and that was brilliant.
The youth policy is paying huge dividends in terms of potential, and Michael Branch comes with a quality stamp of approval. This is the goal they're all raving about. From a cul-de-sac, Branch emerges with the ball, runs directly at goal and finishes off with consummate ease. That was against Stoke reserves.
I don't know how he did it yet. I've watched the tape about 3 or 4 times. I still don't know how he did it. And he's through on goal.
from nothing, he's through on goal, and he takes it to his right and then crashes it past the keeper, and it was just a goal out of absolutely nothing. I mean, as I say, I'd have set up for a throw, and then we end up getting a goal. So it was one of these goals. It was fantastic, great goal.
O'Connor, quick cross, and it was a good one. Chipped onto the bar. I think the goalkeeper got it, but on the rebound, Everton take the lead, and Tony Grant is the scorer.
I have a theory that players can get Central Leagueitis. You know, if they play in the reserves for too long, they become accustomed to it. And I've always been in favour of loaning them out, just for a change, just to change their whole outlook. And Tony Grant came back from 3 good games with Swindon with a whole lot more self-esteem. And he is now expressing himself the way that we know he can. You know, he tended to go in the first team before that and blend in. He's going in now, hopefully, to show what he can do, and there's a big difference.
Commercially, Everton have never had it so good. Even the Italians have been over to learn a few tricks about trading. Prior to the game with Nottingham Forest, Everton and Ebbrell announced an extension to their lucrative contract up until the year 2000 and possibly beyond that.
Southall puts his considerable weight behind the ball, and it's carried all the way to Kanchelskis. Oh, Ferguson! Very close to a cheeky goal from the Scot. It's working well down the right-hand side. This time Stewart with a strong tackle from Ebbrell. Kanchelskis. Stewart shots! Touched aside by Crossley, that's all he could do. Hinchcliffe corner, spells danger. The bells are ringing, the warning bells are ringing. Ferguson nods it down, off the line by Stone. Danger still not over, up in the air, where's he going to land? Is that a push? The referee takes a long look and says no. Stewart shoved to the ground. This was the incident when Everton almost took the lead. Steve Stone, not the tallest man to put on the post, but it worked on that occasion. Chase for Stewart. He's getting in there again. It's a real tussle, and Stewart, oh, it was close. What's he got to do to score today? Challenge. Stewart winning the ball to Ferguson, to Stewart. They do work so well together. Ebbrell spraying a 40-yarder. Kanchelskis, look at the defenders panicking. 4 of them can't stop him. Oh, great goal! Andrei Kanchelskis seemed to draw all of the red-shirted defenders towards him then. He beat them. And he beat the man in the yellow top as well. A world-class player with a world-class goal. As always, with the corner kick. There's Watson! 2-0! Oh, Dave Watson's relief was his first goal in something like 40 matches. I think last time he scored was the quarter-final of the Cup last season. The one to try it. 2-0. Back defensive duty. Lofted over the top. Which defence is square. Kanchelskis obviously has the pace to get there. That's in a good cross. Ferguson up in the air and off the line. Yet another let-off for Nottingham Forest. Kanchelskis, O'Connor. Defender can't deal with Kanchelskis, and there's Ferguson! Second time lucky. Well, it was on the cards. Kanchelskis cross, Ferguson header, easy peasy, 3-0. Ebbrell can get one. He fell on his weaker foot, almost.
It gave me a great amount of pleasure. It's always nice to score, but I keep getting reminded now. I think it's 40-odd games since my last goal, so it was nice to get that one today.
Well, now the result of our last competition. We asked whether Anders Limpar was from Sweden or Denmark. Well, the answer, of course, is Sweden, and the Scandinavian International Lottery winner comes from Everton. So well done to Denise Watson. No relation and no insider dealing, I can assure you of that. Denise, you're now a member of Everton's Worldwide Club. Well, this time around, it's a day out at Belfield. See the players in training. Joe will explain the daily procedure, followed by a guided tour and a slap-up meal of egg and chips and as much tea as you can drink. The hospitality is as lavish as it's down to earth. You'll love it. Now the question, against which club did Joe make his playing debut for Everton when he was 16? Was it Blackpool or Blackburn Rovers? Entries to This Is Everton, Volume 1, Number 4, Commercial Department, Everton Football Club, Liverpool L4 4EL.
Amokachi. Daniel Amokachi, a real test for Dixon. Ebbrell follows up.
As competition for places increased, particularly in midfield, John Ebbrell looked to be on his way out at Goodison. He was actually given the option, but the dedicated Evertonian eventually declined to go and has since become an integral part of the side, as well as being a dedicated follower of fashion.
So give us the inside track. Who are the fashion victims at the club? Who are the worst?
Well, the ones that give me the most stick are Hinchcliffe and Stewart, and to be honest, they're not far behind me. They've got some rascal gear as well.
He takes some enormous flack, John, but he gives as good as he gets. But he's, without any shadow of doubt, he is the worst dressed man.
Graham Stewart's got the audacity to give me a cheek, and he's got a different T-shirt for every day, and it's one of these expensive Italian numbers, and it's shocking. But he manages to give me stick before I give him, I think. So
who's the best dressed in your opinion?
In my opinion,
yeah. Duncan and Daniel like to spend a bit of dosh on the.
Well, Daniel's not my sort of scene. A lot of people have said he's very stylish, but he's far too bright and colourful for me. I don't think I could quite wear that sort of stuff.
A bit Nigerian beach, isn't it, really?
Well, yeah. Well, he does get away with it, but not that I could wear that sort of stuff, you know.
John was one of the original dogs of war. Sorry, Joe. But the unpredictable circumstances which prevailed led to him missing out at Wembley and afterwards.
I wasn't in the team or the squad whatsoever, I think, for a couple of months to start the season. It's the longest spell I've had, really, where I haven't been in the team. I didn't enjoy it one bit. So obviously I was a little bit frustrated. And it was a long time.
Did you seriously consider leaving the club?
Yeah, I think I had to. It was sort of a crossroads. I've been here 10 years now, and I just felt I wasn't really. I couldn't see a chance coming for me where I was going to get a game. I thought the lads in midfield were doing quite well, so I couldn't really see a chance for me to get a game. But there's always something around the corner, and fortunately I got a game, and I managed to stay in.
For a long period, John was one of few to come through the ranks. He's never been a prolific scorer. His first goal for the club came on the opening day of the 1990-91 season against Leeds. The generation game can be misleading.
Still what, early 20s?
Oh no, getting on a bit now.
Oh, yeah.
26, yeah, 26. Still a lot of football left in me yet.
You're almost due a testimonial, aren't you, the amount of time you've been at the club?
Oh, I don't know about that. I don't know.
The beat of the samba drowned out the travelling Mersey beat for the visit to Middlesbrough's lavish new Riverside Stadium. Having already annihilated Juninho and co at Goodison, Everton were faced with another Brazilian ambassador, Branco. He began on the bench, waiting to be judged, but the verdict was a majority one in Everton's favour.
This is all very untidy play by both sides. No real pattern in the game at all at the moment. Now Kanchelskis. Really fizzed, just past the post, deflecting. This is O'Connor. 19-year-old fullback. And the flag stays down, and Stewart breaks. Good save by Walsh. Looked a goal all over. Two against one, and the cross is played early and volleyed over. Into Barron's head. Hinchcliffe. O'Connor. Quick cross, and it was a good one. Tipped onto the bar. I think the goalkeeper got it, but on the rebound, Everton take the lead, and Tony Grant is the scorer. All credit then to the young fullback, who made a long run down the right-hand side, hit the instant cross, and a good cross it was too. The header turned onto the bar, I think, by Walsh. But Grant following up, and that's 1-0. Kanchelskis quickly released by Stewart. He's dangerous here. Is that a penalty? Yes, it is. Kanchelskis has the pace to get away from defenders. Fleming after him and arrived too late. Fox also there, but I think it was Fleming's challenge that sent him off balance. Puts it away, his third goal of the season. And with very little time to go to half-time, this goal puts Everton 2-0 in front, thoroughly in control. Impression, having been on the pitch only 5 minutes, but it's an indication of the power with which this man can strike the ball. How far out is he here? Just over 30 yards wide, but tremendous power. Heading for Merseyside. Cross to Ferguson, knocked away by Walsh. Ferguson suddenly flexing his muscles. It was a good header.
So after a similar start to the previous season, Kate Kennedy intervened and the launch towards the UEFA Cup place was becoming a more and more realistic target. The two domestic cup competitions were disappointing, but there are still plenty of smiling faces on Nice One Gladys.
We travelled 200 miles today to see Anders Limpar because he's a class act.
I like Daniel Amokachi.
I like Joe Parkinson because he's boss. David Unsworth's my favourite player because he's really good looking. What else am I meant to say?
Barry Owen's a good Everton player. He's aggressive, he's a good talented player and he tackles people.
Anders Limpar because he's got plenty of skill and he's dead fit.
Andrei Kanchelskis because he's really fast and he scores loads of goals.
Kanchelskis because he's got a really tight butt.
That's great.
Dave Watson because I like to see an older man on the team.
Gaining impetus, the Mark Hottiger fan club, whose transfer from Newcastle was even more prolonged and painstaking than Andrei Kanchelskis's. Again, the problem was getting a work permit, but eventually the Department of Employment issued the all clear.
We've just got the news on the phone. Mark Hottiger's signed. At long last?
Can't believe it. It's actually happened. It's been a saga. It's definitely been a war and peace job. Yes, hopefully that's the end of it now and Mark can get on with his career. I know he's been very, very frustrated, very bitter at times, and I can't blame him. So it's the green light for Mark Hottiger at last.
Number 19, Mark Hottiger.
Having been unable to compete in the Premiership for 7 months, under the circumstances, Joe rated Hottiger's debut against Coventry as one of the finest he's seen.
Stewart. Close cross. Ferguson! Well, he arrives on time so perfectly. Great cross from Hinchcliffe, goes without saying. The perfect header from Ferguson goes without saying. Dublin, applying a little fight. They are a team who look very short in confidence. Whelan puts in a shot and a magnificent save from Southall. Chase again for Whelan. Hinchcliffe gets there well. Again looking a very assured player. Winning praise from the Everton fans. Marching forward. Ferguson wins the header, so does Stewart. Ferguson keeps going. Great pace from Ferguson! And a lovely, dinky little finish. Well, the goal was simple in its conception.
Second goal.
Nodded on by Stewart. And Ferguson shows some pace or what, left the defenders. And a neat little touch, 2-0. With less than a quarter of the game gone. And Duncan Ferguson's 7th goal in 10 games. It's Marco's corner. There's a header. Oh, and it's a goal. New signing Liam Day scores for Coventry. Hinchcliffe curls it in and Grzivic's route is blocked and blasted over the bar. Graham Stewart off balance, off target. Grant. Chelskis, 2 defenders, meet in, beats both. Steadies himself, Stewart wants it, Grant gets it. Amokachi can't make it and it's scooped over the bar. Strachan on the field, the 39-year-old trying to add some impetus to this Coventry attack. Talarco's cross, and there's Williams! A cruel blow for Everton, but maybe one which Coventry deserve.
It takes time. I look at Newcastle and Manchester United, 2 of the most successful sides in recent years. Have taken 4 years minimum and 40 million to put together. So we're well ahead of schedule. I just hope that the patience and ambition can be tempered together, you know, because people were talking about us as championship side this year, and quite honestly, we weren't going to be champions this year. It was not a lack of ambition, it was just a touch of reality. I think that we will be ready to challenge sooner rather than later. But realistically, this year was always going to be transition again.